you're a very deep thinker, and anyone that follows your work that actually takes the time to read through the captions that you put with your work will know that. And anyone that's had a conversation will know that, or a conversation with you would also know that too. And I think you've unlocked something for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I've always wondered, like, where does that curiosity come from? Like, what is that thing that like drives you and pushes you to actually like take that action and do that thing and learn it and figure it out? Because I think it's important that we do think about that, because if we didn't have that, our world would look very different.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the things that we appreciate today wouldn't exist unless there were people that were curious. And I think it's important that we find ways to instill that in others. So that's why I always ask that question, is because if we can understand where it comes from, then we can start to figure out a way to instill it in others. But there's this whole like debate of like, is it one of those things that you're kind of just born with, or is it something that you like kind of teach people? But I think the thing that I think you've unlocked for me is like, what I'm hearing from what you're saying is that you kind of, but you get something out of the energy that you put in
Yeah.
to learning that.
I think oftentimes a motivation of doing things, if you don't have the motivation and it's something you need to do, it's just about reframing what that thing is. It's like, this thing that I'm doing now is tough, and you know that the end result is worth it, but you just can't get yourself to do it. It may just be reframing what you're getting at the end of it, even though it's the same thing. For example, finishing, like I didn't want to finish school, like grade 11. I'm like, I want to go do arts. Send me to Canada. There's this animation school. I found out about, and parents of course said no. Thankfully, like I do appreciate that.
Shout out to the friends.
And this train of thought just kind of went away. But for me, it was once I'm done here, like I'll finish. Once I'm done, I'll have the time to do the stuff. It's then the next year, it didn't feel so much of a hindrance, because it wasn't like it's getting in the way of things. Just reframe, and it's like, okay, once I'm done, I'll forever have the freedom now. Instead of seeing this short-term blockage of what it is, it's in the long run, if I just keep doing this thing or whatever it is. And
Dude, that's so interesting to me, is that thing of how you can think long term. A lot of people can't, see.
I think it didn't, of course, start that way. All in the as you keep growing, like there's a path of photography to videography for a lot of people, and photo to video, the time is different. Like the time you take the photo, like you'll take it, you can go edit it, you may be done that day. But sometimes video is a bit more. And if you don't have that, okay, I need to edit this, I'm gonna have to give it 2 days or whatever, you'll I don't know, I don't want to say suffer, but it'll be tough to finish. And as I kept growing in photo to video to animation, I had to understand that this thing, I may start it now, but it's going to take me a month to finish. And that understanding of some things do take time. And you can't just limit it to whatever time frame, arbitrary time frame that you had before. Like, if I'm going to learn this thing in animation, I might be done in 3 years, but I will have done it and I will be able to do it.